All right, we got a little poetry review here. Again, if you watch the video, you are able to come in before or after school or during a study hall and retake your test. Remember, 1, you got to use your notes. So make sure that you used your notes document. And I'm going to go through a few review items as you consider some of the items on the test. So when you think about the mental image you should picture or form, when you're thinking about mental image, what do you see in your head? So when I read this, if I should die, think only this of me. So there you have death, that there's some corner of a foreign field that is forever England. There shall be in that rich earth a richer dust concealed, a dust whom England bore, shaped, made aware, gave once her flowers to love, her ways to roam, a body of England's breathing English air, washed by the rivers, blessed by sons of home. So in that, you would know that there's some kind of death going on in that answer. So because it said, if I should die, you know that it's not taking place in a hospital, because it talks about the English, the dust, the earth, in England's breathing English air, washed by rivers. So you would know you're outside somewhere. It's definitely not a flowery field. It's an old battlefield where a man died, an old battlefield where a man died, because it's foreign. So it's old, foreign. The next one is the same excerpt or poem, but it's talking about, what's the paraphrase? Don't forget me if I die? No, it's not talking about forget me if I die. It's talking about, if I die, remember where I died as a part of England. So it talks about England within. Again, the same excerpt, the example of alliteration. Remember, alliteration is repeating of sounds at the beginnings of words. So corner and foreign, or, that's not alliteration. That is actually assonance of the O sound. This, that, theirs, okay, there you go. That is alliteration, the TH sound in flower and love, ow and of, that's nothing repeating. Shaped, made, aware, A and A, again, that would be assonance. So I just talked about assonance as the repeating sounds of vowel sounds. The theme, what's the overall message of this example? What's the overall message of the example? War is a terrible thing? No, that's not the message that's trying to get across. England is beautiful? No, because it's talking about death. Wherever you go, your country goes with you? Yeah, because it's always a part of who you are. It's your home. It's your English air, your home. Never forget where you came from. No. A Dream Deferred by Langston Hughes. Okay, so you're looking for similes. That's comparing using like or as in that poem. So you have to find a simile using like or as. Personification is to make something human-like. Remember, person-like is to make something human-like, to show that broken dreams sometimes bleed. Okay, to show that broken dreams haunt you for a long time. And that's personification. How does it function? So it's not what is the personification in line 4. So, or fester like a sore. That shows that dreams haunt you, like they keep coming back like a sore. The next one, what's the most likely theme of the poem? The theme of the poem. Sometimes it says, does it dry up like a raisin in the sun? What happens to a dream? Or fester like a sore and then run? Does it stink like rotten meat, or crust and sugar over like a syrupy sweet? Maybe it just sags like a heavy overload, or does it explode? Okay, so in that one, things can be really painful. So broken dreams can be very painful is a possible theme. Tonight is the next selection. The moon is curving flower of gold. The sky is still in blue. The moon was made for the sky to hold, and I for you. The moon is a flower without a stem. The sky is luminous. Eternity was made for them. Tonight, for us. The poet compare herself to the moon and sky. How does the poet do that in lines 3 and 4? So you got to go back 1, 2, this line, the moon was made for the sky to hold, and I for you. Okay, so in that example, how does the poet compare herself to the moon and sky? Okay, she is also made to be held by her partner. Again, the same poem. Consonants is repeating consonant sound, not vowel. So consonant is word letters not at the beginnings of words. That's alliteration. So without and stem, the t. Sky and still doesn't have repeating consonant sounds later. Neither does moon, the N or the R. Made for them, D and M or R. So it has to be this without the T and this T for stem. Again, same poem. What could be a theme of this? Spend important moments with the one you love. Okay, so eternity was made for them, for us, and I for you. So spend time with the one that you love. What mood is suggested by the words youthful, passions, pure, and grace? Okay, what mood? Remember, the mood is the feeling of the poem. So it's obviously not witty and smart or angry. Satire is poking fun at. So it's loving. Loving, those are loving words. Based on the punctuation, where should you first pause when reading the where should you first pause? Right after load. Right after load, the end of the second line. You don't pause here. That's called enjambment. You just keep reading over and over. When reading the poem aloud, at what points should you come to a full stop? So a full stop is different than a comma. It would be like a question mark is a full stop. A period is a full stop. So 1, 2, 3, line 4, line 8, here's a period, line 10, line 12, and 14. So where you actually have commas, or not commas, where you have periods or question marks. Based on these stanzas, what form of poem is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 lines. So you know that it is some type of sonnet, but sonnet isn't one of your choices. So then you have to say, well, what kind of poem is this? This is a lyric poem because it's actually Ed Sheeran, who is a singer. And remember, lyrics is a poem that is musical in quality, and it talks about lyric in your notes as well. Villanelles have 19 lines. Tanka, that doesn't have the correct amount of lines either for Tanka. And narrative is to write to tell a story. Rhyme scheme. What's the rhyme scheme? Hips and lips, A, load, bestowed, B. So A, B, well, and today. Okay, so here you have A, B. So you would have to know that it can't be that one, it can't be that one, and it can't be that one. Bam! A, B, C, D. And the speaker. Remember, you have to figure out who the speaker is. It is not the author. It is not the author. It is actually some young person in love. I know for certain I'll love thee as well when I am aged as I do today. So I'm younger and I'm going to love when I get older too, but right now it's a young lover, not an older man. What is the pair of rhymed lines at the end of a poem? The pair of rhymed lines at the end of a poem is always called a couplet. Remember, a couplet. A quatrain is 4 lines, a sonnet is 14 lines, and a double rhyme isn't anything. Which is the following is true about narrative poems? Narrate to tell a story. To tell a story. A 5-line poem with 5 syllables in the first and third lines and 7 in the others. So you have 5 syllables in the first and third and 7 in the others. That's a tanka. A haiku is 575. That's only 3 lines long versus a tanka. Okay? So that is 7 lines. Poem divided into 3 quatrains and a couplet. 3 quatrains. Okay, so remember quatrains are 4 lines each. So 3 times 4 is 12, plus a couplet at the end makes 14. So you know that it's a sonnet because it has 14 lines. So your pick would be Shakespearean sonnet. Tone. Tone is the attitude of the author. Unlike the feeling created as mood. Which of the following is not always true of a villanelle? Well, it always has 19 lines. It does follow this rhyme scheme, ABA, so it kind of makes it sing-songy. It is in iambic pentameter? No, that would be a sonnet is usually in iambic pentameter, Shakespearean sonnet in particular. And there is repetition in the last line of each stanza. That is true. So it is an iambic pentameter is not always true. Dialect is the speaking in a certain region. So people of a certain region. Slang is different than dialect. So it's a certain region. The Italian or Petrarchan sonnet is different than the English or Shakespearean sonnet because it doesn't go past the rhyme scheme of E, and the Shakespearean sonnet does. And matter of fact, they both have 14 lines, not 13. An Italian sonnet does not use iambic pentameter. That's not always true, but does not go past E, and there are some differences, so it wouldn't be that. Okay, so that's just a little review of the Poetry Benchmark 7-8 test. Remember, if you listen to this and you have your notes done, you can come in before or after school or in a study hall and retake your test.